It's stunning. It really jumps out of the landscape. You'll suddenly turn a corner and you see this magnificent house. It does have a special place in people's hearts who live in Barnsley, but it was a secret place for a long, long time.
Wentworth Castle Gardens today is made up of the three parts. There's the house, which is Northern College today, and then the National Trust run the gardens and the wider parkland. All those things share this fantastic common history. The beginning of our story is with a guy called Thomas Wentworth, who was the son of a member of the Wentworth family, who were a really important Yorkshire gentry family. The big family house of the Wentworths was at the Wentworth Woodhouse down the road. Thomas thought he was going to inherit the Wentworth family fortune, but he didn't. His father's cousin, when he died, left it to a cousin, Thomas Watson. Our Thomas Wentworth, was so furious that he bought this estate in order to try and create a rival to Wentworth Woodhouse.
Thomas then set about to build a folly castle. It was purely there for pleasure, for fun, but more significantly, around about 1730, Thomas renamed the estate Wentworth Castle. It sounds very grand to say, I now reside at Wentworth Castle. And it worked because his cousin was infuriated and set about the building project at Wentworth Woodhouse. So it really was keeping up with the Joneses' big style. When Thomas died 1739, his son William took over the estate. He was a very cultured individual. He'd spent time travelling in Europe on the Grand Tour. He'd met some very influential characters like Mary Wortley, for whom he dedicated the monument in the garden. The last owner of the house, Captain Bruce Vernon Wentworth, didn't really spend much time here. He had no great affinity to the house. He agreed to sell the house to Barnsley Corporation on the understanding that they would utilise the building for public good. So in 1948, the house was opened as a women-only teacher training college. It provided an absolutely vital function, not just for the local area, but for the country, because it created very badly needed teachers.
I came to Wentworth Castle College in 1970 for 3 years, and we had the best teacher training ever. I'm the first person in my family that had done further education, so everybody was really proud, and it was just so amazing to come into a castle.
In 1978, the teacher training crisis arguably was over. There was nowhere in the north of England where adults could go and study in a residential setting. So Northern College came into existence. You lived in the place where you studied. All the daily stresses that prevent you from focusing on your studies were taken away from you. So it was almost like a second chance in life to achieve some academic qualifications, and the college has obviously built on that and expanded its role over the years.
Northern College to me was everything, and it made such a massive difference to me. It gave me the confidence to go to university. That wasn't something that I'd planned. I learned so much from these people. I've never stopped learning when I was here, and I never stopped learning when I went.
It's an inspirational place to be, an inspirational place to learn, and I just think that's what makes it really special. Today, we retain our ethos about helping adults back into education. We believe that everybody should have that opportunity as well for that second chance of education.
I left school with no qualifications, and so once my children left home, I decided that it was my time, and now I'm doing access to higher education. I never thought in my entire life that I'd be at this point, and I'm so proud of myself for getting so far.
I feel like it's opened more opportunities for me because I'm a young mum and I've been working in care since I was 16, so it's allowed me to come back and get the grades I need to be a qualified midwife.
It's like the building's kind of giving back to the community, like the building's alive, it's vibrant, it's making a difference, it's creating change, it's going to keep changing lives.
The foundation of Wentworth Castle Gardens today is a partnership between Barnsley Council, who own much of the site, between Northern College, and between the National Trust. Collectively, we're working on all the hard work and effort that's gone on in decades before to save and protect and develop this place. Nowadays, we're working more in partnership with people, with local people particularly, to perhaps understand some of the histories associated with this place better and find ways that we can communicate that. There's something very powerful about how a building that was built for one man's self-importance, how that's got turned into this public space that's had this benefit for all these generations of people. Think of all the lives that have had a positive impact as a result of this place. And that's a really powerful, wonderful thing.